Good morning, all of you. Now we are again starting the next topic of history, chapter number one, the nationalism in Europe. Now our topic is visualizing the nation. It is easy enough to represent a ruler through a portrait or a statue. But what about a nation? So nations began to be portrayed as a female figure called allegory. So artists in the 18th and 19th centuries found a way out, and the way was personifying a nation. That means artists represented a country as if it were a person, and then nations were portrayed as female figures, and that is called allegory. Allegory means an abstract idea is expressed through a person or a thing. The female form that was chosen to personify the nation did not stand for any particular woman in real life. So now we will just discuss about how were different nations visualized by the artists in the 18th and 19th century. And in this, we will just discuss about two countries. That is two female figures, that is Marine and Germania. Marine, that is from France. From 1789, females appeared in paintings as symbols of liberty and revolution. Marinia and Germania were female allegories invented by artists in the 19th century in France and Germany, respectively to represent the abstract idea of the nation in concrete form. Female figure in France was Christian Marine, was a popular name. And the idea behind portraying Marine with symbols of liberty and republic. That was red cap. If you remember in class 9, you have studied about different political symbols. Red cap, bouquet, tricolor, and popular name was to represent the French nation as people's nation. Statue of Marine was erected in public places to remind the public of the national symbol of unity. As if you have observed in Gujarat also, Statue of Unity was made. And for that, but that was a realistic person, that is Sardar Patel. But here also, Statue of Liberty. So national symbol of unity and to persuade them to identify with it. So Marine image was also marked on coins and stamps. And now you just see this figure, Germania. This figure, or we can say allegory of the German nation, Germania, depicted by artist Philipp Weck in 1848. He was represented standing against a background where beams of sunlight shine through the national tricolor flag, wearing a crown of oak leaves and holding an unsheathed sword in her hand. And that was to symbolize the German as heroic. So that means Germania became the allegory of German nation in visual representations. And now next topic is imperialism. Can anyone tell me the meaning of imperialism? What is imperialism? Any idea? No? Imperialism means to acquire other territory. That is the same thing like colonization. And as we are aware about that, during the colonial period and during, or we can say during the imperialistic world, nationalism spread around the globe. So last quarter of the 19th century, nationalism no longer retained its idealistic liberal democratic sentiments, but a narrow creed with limited ends. Because during this period, nationalist groups became intolerant of each other and ready to go to war. And if you will see about the most serious source of nationalist tension occurred in Europe after 1871. And that area was called Balkans. And if you will see about Balkans, that was a region of geographical and ethnic variation comprising modern-day Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, etc. And the people who were living there that were known as Slavs. And large part of Balkans were under the control of Ottoman Empire. Are you aware about Ottoman Empire? Anyone is having any idea about the Ottoman Empire?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, Greece was a part of Ottoman Empire.
No. Ottoman Empire, that is a Muslim country, Turkey. If you remember about in 8th standard, you have studied about that is First World War by fact. Okay, so Ottoman Empire was a Islamic country. And the spread of the ideas of romantic nationalism in the Balkans, together with the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire, and made this region explosive. All through the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire strengthened itself through modernization and internal reforms, but with very little success. So one by one, its European subjects, those who were under the control of Ottoman Empire, the subject nationalities broke away from its control and declared independence. That means the Balkan peoples based their claims for independence or political rights on nationality and used history to prove that they had once been independent. But now they were under the foreign powers. So that means the rebellious nationalists in the Balkans thought of their struggle as attempts to win back their long lost independence. So due to this, different Slavic nationalists, and that means different countries, struggle to define their identity and independence. And the Balkan area became an area of intense conflict. And all the Balkan states were jealous of each other and hoped to gain more territory, more geographical area at the expense of the others. And matters complicated further because the Balkans also became the scene of big power rivalry. because the period, a great rivalry among the European powers over trade and colonies, as well as naval and military might. So that means the rivalries were very evident in the way the Balkan problem unfolded. And the powers, Russia, Germany, England, Austro-Hungary, was keen on countering the hold of other powers over the country. And they all were fighting with each other. This led to a series of wars in the region and finally the beginning of First World War. I think you must have studied about 1914. First World War occurred. You remember about First World War? And First World War and after that, imperialism spread along with the nationalism that led to Europe to disaster. But meanwhile, many countries in the world which had been colonized by the European powers in the 19th century began to oppose imperial domination, like India also. But as our chapter is related with only Europe, so we will discuss only about the Europe, the anti-imperial movement that developed everywhere were nationalists because they struggled for the independence of the nation, for their country. So that was the spread of nationalism in the sense that they all struggled to form independent nation states and were inspired by a sense of collective national unity. Forced in confrontation with imperialism, and European ideas of nationalism were nowhere replicated, for people everywhere developed, but their own specific variety of nationalism. And after that, idea that society should be organized into nation states accepted as natural and universal right. So this was the end of our chapter.